I joined United Aurora Federation to help them become the biggest and greatest faction in the whole of Persian sector. Alas, that is easier said than done when half of Starsector wants you dead and the colonization process takes a lot of time and even more money. But General Hans has a plan, and she will pursue that plan until UAF becomes the greatest faction ever or die in the process. Now, just to show how being the biggest and greatest faction would look, we have Hegemony with 16 markets right now, and we have Persian League with 16 markets right now. I actually counted UAF, and with everything we gave them, they actually have 19 markets now. So, based on just markets alone, they are the biggest. Based on the population, the total population, they are also the biggest. And Persian League and Hegemony are gaining some pop from their alliances. Aurora Federation, they are alone. They're also winning on the amount of heavy industry. And of course, I am cooking a bunch more places for them. But of course, that is not enough. I want them to be the biggest and the greatest there ever were. Colonization takes time, so we have a lot of work to do still. Now, after these colonies up here are done cooking, we're probably gonna go down here where there is that Sakura world somewhere. That one, yeah, that one is really solid. But there's still a lot of systems that I have not explored near it, so that's what I'm gonna do next. And who knows, maybe we finally find a gate nearby down here. Also, it seems that very soon we're gonna have the Sector Pole police coming after us, so I guess that's something we're gonna have to deal with soon. But it's not something we have to deal with right away. Oh, and I have found a gate right here. Okay, that is decently nearby to all of these. There's another gate up here, so yeah, these are close. That is already a good start. Oh, and I have found another underground network, which caps the hazard rating at 100%. And it's got rich rare ore and moderate ore deposits. And it's right next to this gate. What a great start. And there is this lifeless world right next to it with 150% hazard rating, decivilized, so that would be easily fixable. And it's got ruins as well with an atmospheric sublimator. Oh, and there's a mining station in this place. Mining station with a stellar reflector core. Wow, we are finding all the best things today. I gotta be careful here because this is a neutron star with also a mining station that has orbital fusion lamp. Okay, we could put this into some cold planets if we want to. There's also a research station in here and it's right in the middle of the beam. Oh, we're gonna have to wait a long time here. So long, in fact, that Martin grew to size level 5? Well, let's quickly burn across this and go check it out. It's got heavy arc emitter blueprint, some logic pad stuff, and a bunch of weapons. Well, I don't know if that was worth it. But since Martin has grown, let's, I guess, give them another industry. I think refining fits well with how much stuff we got here. But it also means that, yeah, we really need to give it to Aurora soon. I think I'm done exploring here for a bit. And we're really gonna go and we're gonna transfer Martin. And we can already transfer Heisenberg, Jesse, and Bikini Bottom as well. So while Martin is still busy building its refining thing, let's go pop over here to Heisenberg. And we're gonna give it to the Aurora. It was a beautiful arid world for us. Apparently it's got Ludic majority now. I didn't even realize. I don't think it had it while we still had this in our control, but I'm sure it's gonna do great from now on. Let's go to Jesse, and Jesse is gonna cook. Well, it's gonna be cooking once I sell them all those extra stuff I've got carrying with me. So Aurora's got the cryo sleeper in their domain now, but we know that Bikini Bottom is also ready and they can take care of their SpongeBob on their own. Now I'm actually gonna wait for this refining to be built on Martin before transferring it over, but we can already start colonizing at least 3 colonies, so let's actually go find that Sakura world, shall we? Everybody wanted this place, but now we are gonna make this ours. And we're just gonna name it Sakura. I did remember to bring food. And since we're already here, we're gonna just jump to Knossos as well. Knossos, we're gonna take over. It's only 125. So this is gonna be a very solid place as well. Apparently there's also a mining station in here that we never found before. It didn't really have much useful stuff though. Oh, never mind. On the second search, it had a plasma dynamo that we can install into mining. If you get another gas giant somewhere, somewhere, we can drop it in there. Now let's go to the terminus nearby, because there is a planet we can colonize in here as well. It's beautiful methane continental. It's only 125% as well, and it's got abundant rare ore, it's got modded ore and diffuse volatiles. And since the place is called terminus, let's call it terminus. That's all the admins we had available right now, so this is where our colonization stops for a bit, which is just as fine because the sector pole is coming after Mom's Rock Cake and they are departing in 11 days. I might be able to catch them out there in the wild. Now they're popping out. Okay, they tried to trick me, did you? Well, it might be 4 fleets, but I will crush them because how dare they come after my colonies? This is how you do it. This is how you achieve peace. You achieve it through complete and utter destruction. That is all there is. I mean, after we deal with these guys, that will be another distraction gone from our colonies, at which point only the Singian fuel company and the pirates would be causing the crisis, which, let's be real, I'm not too afraid of. So as long as the Federation doesn't pull me in some unnecessary bloody wars, we should be able to continue peacefully colonizing and thusly dominating the sector. And let's be real, that's all I ever wanted. And there it is, the Sectopole Gendarme have been defeated. And yeah, there's only pirates, and Singians don't really like us having fuel production, but otherwise life is pretty good. And since life is pretty good, we're gonna stop at Favonius next, and I'm gonna buy one of these modular purifiers because these increase refining production output by 2 units. I'm gonna take that thing and we're gonna go to Martin. If we install this bad boy into refining on Martin, that place is starting to produce a lot of money. It's a really good thing we have this old space accelerator, and we did a really good job fixing this place. But from now on, it's up to Aurora, and I'm sure they're gonna do a great job with this as well. But that means we have an extra administrator now. So let's jump all the way to the other side of the sector. And we're gonna go to this blue giant very close to these 3 worlds, where lies Trick, an arid, unstable world. And Trick is only 75% hazard rating world because it has the crash terraforming drone, plus of course it's habitable. It does only have sparse ore deposits, but still, such low hazard is gonna make it great. And yes, we're keeping the name Trick. Oh, and Persian League is mad at me because apparently they were trying to colonize it themselves? I didn't even notice. If we didn't do the deal with Martin right now, I would never have noticed this. That's really good timing. In any case, we're back down to 8 colonies cooking right now, which means that all we can do is do some more exploration. Okay, I probably should be very careful where I jump next because this shit looks very, very scary, and I probably shouldn't be in here. So let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, this seems much safer, and there are ruins for us to explore here. Alas, mostly just domestic goods, huh? Oh, I have found a mining station out here with a combat drone replicator for ground defenses. Oh yeah, we can definitely use that. Oh my god, and in the ruins nearby, we have found an alpha core. Oh, that's a huge find. This is a great gas giant. I mean, hazard rating isn't great, but the ruins on it were great. And this irradiated world is also very solid because it has the crash terraforming drone, so that brings it down to 125. I'm guessing the volcanic worlds nearby aren't gonna be so great, but in general, this is a great place. I mean, there's even a research station right there that has survey data for a tundra world, besides all of this. And that tundra world is just a bit further to the north. Oh, this is great. 150. It's got the high gravity, which is quite unfortunate. But otherwise, ultra-rich rare ore, yeah, that's pretty nice. We'll definitely go check this out once we take care of these 2. And there's another orbital habitat in this sector, or I should say system, with a holosuit for the extra colony income that we can drop into a commerce. Coincidentally, I did build commerce on Mom's cake oven, so my bakery can produce more money. We might drop that in there. Oh, I didn't even realize there's also a gate in here, which means we can jump all the way down into this corner now. Definitely another solid find. Just like these ruins that had an atmospheric sublimator, I also found a survey data for a class 5 arid unstable world and a class 4 volcanic world, which are both up here as well. The arid unstable also has the old space accelerator, so yeah, this place seems to be shaping up nice. Alas, before we go there, more exploration down here. And we found yet another crash terraforming drone on this irradiated world. It is still extreme heat and irradiated though, so we'll see if that one is worth colonizing. Anyway, The last one down in this corner to explore. And very appropriately, it's quite empty. There's no planets here. Well then, let's go explore this very exciting Bell Nebula. And let's find our very special worlds. Definitely very exciting widespread ruins here. Yeah, actually besides that beta core, not so exciting. Oh, I have found another class 5 server data for a Gem Tundra world, which is way further to the north, but close to underground over here. And that one also has the old space accelerator. Wow, that's really nice. Plus the low gravity, the accessibility here would be great. So much to colonize, but so little time. In any case, a lot of these colonies are almost ready to go to Aurora. Although Mycella just built the Gene Purge project, so this is gonna take a year to complete. Until then, I will have to take care of it. I got to the system with the Tundra world we have found the server earlier, and it also has a Gem Tundra world right next to it, plus other interesting things. There's the Arid Unstable in this system as well with the old space accelerator. This one is really solid as well with a 150 only. There's the Tundra world, which had a terraformer brain print in its ruins, which would allow us to add a mild climate to a Terran planet, which we don't have any of. But in any case, that one is 150 as well. We can definitely fix some coldness, not high gravity though. And let's check this Gem Tundra next to it. It's definitely got an awesome name, but it's 150%er as well. Low gravity, solid, cold, of course. So while the worlds around here are very solid, the hazard rating can be pretty high. So maybe not the first places we're gonna colonize, because we still have some more options and some more places to explore, of course. Now, I haven't built the cross sleeper structure on any of the planets, but underground is growing pretty slowly due to the, well, the underground network we got over here. So I'm thinking that might be the one place where that makes sense. If, of course, we can get all these organics in it. And the cross sleeper is pretty far, so the growth bonus wouldn't be that high. But still, let's try it. Okay, all of these have been explored. They are very, very empty of any good worlds. I think I'm gonna explore a couple more systems over here and cover this small unexplored section. Then we're gonna hit one of the gates and we're gonna just go refuel and resupply. And hopefully at that point, there might be some colonies we can transfer already. In the meantime, while I was exploring, Underground actually finished the cryo revival facility. It's struggling to get all the organics it needs, and it is getting a bit of a boost of growth from the revival facility, so you know, it's gonna grow up to level 4 very soon. And then that one will be all cooked as well. Crusade just grew to level 5. That's one of our old colonies. Yeah, that's the one that had the ancient religious landmark, which grants extra population growth. Really good to see the Auroran colonies thriving out there. Now, my exploration duty down here is all done. We need to go refuel and resupply. And luckily for us, we have a gate right there. And just as we traveled back home, I noticed that apparently the pirates are coming to raid us. I will probably really go to Kanta now and pay her. But first, I think I'm gonna buy 2 more of these module purifiers. Mostly because, well, I can. I'm also gonna visit Mom's cake oven and install this item into the commerce here that's gonna increase the money we make from our bakery. Aurora is invading Chickamaustock and Hegemony is invading New Home, which is not something we can allow. So you know what? I'm gonna send in there a defense fleet. And while I was flying around Mom's Stone Donut, Echoes are still around here. It's the fleet we ignored or flew away ages ago. I guess we can fight them now? Looks like these ghosts have finally made it to civilization after all of these years. Let's be real, I am slightly afraid of them, so we'll see how this is gonna go now. But hopefully my strikes can de-ghost them. So far, this seems to be going pretty well for us. I have to admit, the ships, the ghostly ships, look amazing. And I would have taken this fight much earlier, probably slightly maybe forgot about it. You see, I was too busy colonizing the whole sector. But now the ghosts are gone, and we are supposed to return to New Aurora to settle this whole thing. I'm not actually quite sure who am I supposed to talk to, because I'm pretty sure we started that mission in a bar, but there's nobody in the bar I can talk to, and there's nobody in the comm directory that I'm supposed to talk to. In any case, we have pirates coming over here. We have Hegemony attacking over there, and I really wanted to talk to Kanta. So let's maybe do that first. Let's go pay her off. You can have 1 million credits, and that gives us Kanta's protection, which means for colony crisis there is only Syndrium fuel, and now we have Knights of Lud showing up as well. Interesting, they haven't been here before, but apparently they're here because we have some Allotic majority on our colonies. Ah yeah, NASA's got them. Not sure if that's gonna complicate things at all, because we're gonna be transferring those colonies very soon as well, probably. In any case, I see the Aurorans have a grand invasion fleet, which means they probably didn't even need my help versus this invasion fleet. Yeah, I think that's an invasion fleet my Lynx could solo, but I guess I can help as well. It's a nice respite from all the exploration we've done lately. It feels good to kill something as well, right? After all, combat is the most satisfying thing in Starsector. And yeah, I don't think these guys are gonna be invading anything anymore. And since we're here, let's check in on New Hope. It's looking really nice and it continues to grow. And Savannah is also really nice. It doesn't grow anymore, but it's, you know, it's a beautiful world. Now, let's go see what we can transfer to our allies next. We're gonna start at the underground, which at this point has grown nicely. That Cry Revival facility definitely helped with growth, and even though they turned off Freeport, it's still surviving, still growing. Next, we're gonna stop at Echo, where I'm gonna install this thing into refining. And hopefully that way Aurora can make some more money from here. And last but not the least, up here for now is Blake, which actually still has a couple of days on the ground defenses, so I'll wait here. And in the meantime, I can plan where we're gonna go colonize next. And by the way, we are slowly running out of places we can colonize that are 125% or lower hazard rating. So clearly, we're gonna have to do a bit more exploration. In any case, Aurora now controls these 3 places, and my cell is gonna have to wait for like another 100 days before the Gene Purge project is done. But in any case, it's time to colonize again. First, we're gonna go in Cafeos over here that already has a gate, which is a very big bonus. And over here we have found Kaidimos previously, and that one's got the underground network, which means 100% hazard rating only and rich rare ore deposits. Alas, it's gonna grow a bit slower. It also has no stable location, so we have to fly into the Red Dwarf. And then we go further down here to the new conclave, wherein lies Temblor. And Temblor is at 125% and it's got some moderate ore deposits and some scattered ruins. So while it's not gonna be the greatest place, it's gonna be okay. Now before we continue with colonization, just wanted to show you that Hegemony's being a dick again and they're invading Mom's Stone Donut. Little do they know, the battle station on the Stone Donut is going to be upgraded before they arrive there. So I think we can rest easy. And we move to Erin over here, where lies this little tiny frozen world called Padmawati. Now Padmawati is also 125% and it's got that accessible sub-ice bedrock, plus it's got plentiful volatiles and some ore. We're just gonna call it Padme so it's not gonna be too complicated. So now we colonize these 3 worlds down here, and all of our admins are now in use. But wait, there's more. It's been so long that Sakura and Knossos down here are also done. And even though everybody wanted Sakura, the Aurorans are gonna have it in the end. And same for Knossos. We're actually built domain archaeology, so this place is the only place that produces some domain era artifacts. Actually, it's not. Agarios from the Independence also produces some, but yeah, you know, they're gonna have a big percentage of market share. Now from here on, we're gonna go over yonder to Lugovalas, which is very close to Chthon, where we actually have a gate. In this system, we have Azatha Armoros, a salt desert world with 125% hazard rating and some nice ore and widespread ruins. And Azath is actually pretty close to the core worlds actually, so we're gonna make sure it thrives here. Well, if you ignore the remnants that are still flying around here. And if you ignore that the Hegemony is invading New Hope again. Now back to the system, I know there's still some remnants floating around, so I don't want to leave Azath alone. We're gonna go to Screamshaw. Yeah, this one is 175%er, but it's got ultra rich rare ore and ultra rich ore deposits, and we can just remove the no atmosphere thing, and it's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm aware it would be better if we left the no atmosphere for the heavy industry and all that stuff, but we're not that far yet. We're just gonna build some mining and refining here. Now with that done, let's go back home and make sure Hegemony doesn't cause any bad issues there. And while Mom Stone Donut just completed the Star Fortress, we're not gonna wait for Hegemony to pop in there. We're gonna pop them ourselves. And while it does look like the bar or the cathedral from the Luddic Church, I do not think that's that's gonna help them in the long term. These things are just too big for all of my missiles and fighters to miss. But wait, there's a second fleet. Yeah, actually, I don't think the second fleet's gonna be here for long, which means we'll soon be able to go about our business again. The business of making the Auroran Federation the biggest and greatest and most widespread faction of all time. I did want to check on New Hope because I know it's being invaded by hegemony as well, and they are apparently in system already. Ah, there they are fighting that defense fleet. We gotta go and join in on the fun, right? Just doing our due diligence, making sure that our old colonies do not fall to our biggest enemies. And somehow hegemony always turn out to be our biggest enemies for some reason. I don't know why, I guess they're just dicks. Well, in any case, the dicks are no more. In the meantime, Mycella actually finished the Gene Purge project, and Terminus and Trek are also ready to go into Auroran hands. I guess those two are closest, so let's go to Terminus first. I'm gonna even install my last Auroran modular purifier onto Terminus, so it's gonna make more money for them. And then it's all theirs. And then it's time to transfer Trick, which actually has a bakery. I thought that's gonna be important, and I hope the Aurorans are gonna be happy with it. And from here on, we're gonna fly to Xandar. Xandar got Basmaida, this irradiated world, which is at 125 as well due to the crash terraforming drone. So yeah, we're making Basmaida our own, which means that soon Aurora is gonna be spreading from this corner all the way to this corner, and then up. But of course, there's still a lot of exploration to be done on the upside. But before we do more exploring, let's go transfer Mycella, the one and only fungal world we have found so far. Well, now it belongs to Aurora. Now, before we do more colonization and of course exploration, I wanted to just quickly go to Scrimshaw because I started building the atmospheric pump there, and I brought the atmospheric sublimator to be installed in here. Now with that done, we're gonna go to the other side of the Persian sector, up here, kind of close to the core worlds, and we're gonna be hitting Rotana, this red dwarf here, that has this Kadis desert world. Now, this Grim Lair wasn't here previously. The Explorarium wasn't here previously. I wonder what are they gonna do if I go and colonize this world, because it's only 75% there because of the crash terraforming drone. It is habitable, and then it's got some widespread ruins, which is pretty nice. Let's take over Kadis. And for now, let's hope that these guys are gonna be friendly. I mean, I can trade with them, buy some of their fuel and people, and apparently I can make a deal with him to give him 10% of the income of my colony here, and he's gonna protect it. Him being the station commander here. You know what? Sure. We'll pay. No worries. I hope that's 10% of Kadis and not all of my colonies though. Well, yeah, I didn't really expect we're gonna have neighbors here. If they're gonna be ornery, we can destroy them. But now let's move a bit further to the sector west. Still decently close to Kadis though. We're gonna go after this Alpha Both, a basalt desert world. It is at 150, but it's got old space accelerator for extra accessibility and low gravity for extra accessibility. So it's gonna be nice after we remove hotness or extreme weather. And we're gonna call it Alphasite. Now our colonies are fully maxed once again, so it is time for some more exploration. And right now we're gonna go finish the exploration in this corner, especially because we already know that there's a 125% world over there. It should be somewhere in this system. Actually, I'm silly, it's up here, not down here. Anyway, let's check this domain era probe here, and let's check what else is in this system. Oh, we got Auroran crates in the sun. I will gladly take that. Oh, I found a location of a domain era survey ship and a gamma core, plus some widespread ruins with Alice class fast battleship blueprint that is 280. That's pretty nice. And that survey ship is exactly in the system where we were going next, although it's apparently in the outer reaches, so we'll see if we're gonna ever find that. Actually, maybe we will. Well, yeah, that was pretty lucky. I bet these derelicts are not feeling that lucky right now, especially when my Lynx comes in to solo half of them. Yeah, this kind of feels like New Year's Eve. Everything is blowing up. We got 4 gamma cores out of that. I was hoping we could maybe find about a mothership, but no luck. Now, let's explore this giant system. And this is the Gem Tundra world that we have heard of before. That one is 125 and it's got the old space accelerator, which makes this really good because it's quite far out of the core world, so the accessibility would be nice. I have found another one with an underground network, so that makes Another one that is capped at 100% hazard rating, which means there's already 2 nicely habitable worlds in the system. So we might have to move in here, huh? In the meantime, Scrimshaw also completed its atmospheric pump, and it's gonna take almost 600 days to fix the no atmosphere issue there. But after that, it's gonna be producing a lot of money from mining. Now I'm gonna go quickly resupply at my friendly Auroran, well, friends, who happen to have an underground colony nearby. How convenient, isn't it? And then we continue our exploration up here. As you probably figured out, my plan is to explore everything and then claim as much of it as possible for UAF, whether they like it or not. In this system, I have found a lifeless bombarded world with crashed terraforming drone. It does have high gravity, which kinda sucks, but it is definitely a potential world we could take over, especially because there's this interesting windswept world here as well that has a perpetual dust storm which increases the hazard rating and reduces accessibility, but it has better ground defense strength. And it's also habitable, so it's only 125. And there being another barren world in the system with ultra-rich ore at only 150%, there are 3 possible colonies we could build in here. And since underground is right there, they're not even that far, especially because we have other prospects exactly down here, so right next doors. Looks like we might be colonizing fringes very soon. Made it to a technology cache. I forgot we accepted this quest some time ago. After we deal with these remnants, we can get an alpha core out of this, and nobody can force me to give it back to the Tritech. Yeah, we're definitely taking it for ourselves. Plus all these blueprints we can sell for some extra money. I gotta be careful with the system. There's a neutron star poking around here, but it does seem like it's far away enough that it's probably not gonna reach over to these planets at all. These planets that include an auric world. And that auric world is at 125%. I like it. It's habitable. It's got some farmland and some stuff to be mined. Definitely an interesting prospect. Okay, well, the star is reaching over here for sure. I also found a cryo sleeper here. That is good news because we have so many places over here that we can colonize. And now we also have a cryo sleeper, and it's kind of protected from the neutron star because it's like behind the sun. At least you hope it stays protected by the sun, because well, if it doesn't, we're gonna have problems to try to colonize this place. Oh, in the meantime, Mom's Stone Donut grew up to a level 6, and since we're making a lot of money over here and we do not have commerce in this system, yeah, I'm adding this. Let's build it. Oh, and I have found another gate up here, so close to these systems where we have interesting planets to colonize. That is a great find. So is this orbital habitat. And so is this Auroran prototype schematic package we just found in the ruins that we can sell for 2 million. And I just found the empirical package as well that we can sell for 1 million. Wow, that's looks like Aurora has been around here, and the Federation left all kinds of interesting stuff behind. And there's a mining station as well. A mining station that had soil nanites for farming and combat drone replicator for ground defense, plus, well, 30,000 ore. Oh, there's also an artificial world floating in here. It's got chaotic structures, which means ×2 ground defense strength. That's really good. It does have no atmosphere though, which is slightly unfortunate, so it leaves it at 175. We also just found a server for class 5 auric world in one of the abandoned ships that are just floating around here, and that one is apparently just a bit further up here. It's a 125%er as well, so we got some really cool worlds out here. Now, since my holds are full, I'm just gonna go empty them quickly. I'm gonna sell them at the underground. You guys get all of these very, very interesting blueprints. Yeah, that was probably worth the trip. Now, let the exploration continue. Oh, found an orbital habitat, and this barren world seems to have ruins on it, widespread ones, with lots of transphotonic ore. And that orbital habitat had a pristine nanoforge. Not that we need one anymore, but it had it. You can say that's a pretty big find, right? And the ruins on the next world over had an eradicator core. So with this, we could actually remove planet's radioactivity, which is the first one of its kind we have found so far. I don't really remember if we had any interesting radioactive places we could colonize, but you know, that's always an option now. I also found some Auroran crates in this system. I just jumped in and we got 3 new keycards. And I found orbital habitat, equipment cache, and a miner supply cache in the same area of one system. Although unfortunately none of them had anything too interesting. What is interesting is this Auric world that we have learned about previously. It's got a lot of food on it. And as we learned before, it's 125% there. It does have the high gravity, which kinda sucks. But otherwise, it would be an okay world. And let's be real, who doesn't want to live in a golden world, right? Especially when there's more orbital habitats floating in the same system. Now, I have finished exploring all of the systems up here now. And I can safely say there will be no colonization over here. Down here though, yeah, that's a different story. In that section we have 5 worlds we can definitely colonize and a couple more we can probably colonize. I'm sure the queen will be happy with us. I have also found another gate, which is all the way up here, and that's really nice if you find anything that's colonizable up here. I haven't found anything colonizable, but I have found another set of automata empirical packages. More money for us. Not that we really need it right now, since our main outposts are producing quite a lot every month. But extra money can always be useful when you're colonizing. I have found another potential planet we could colonize. This arid unstable is at 125%, and it being here, it lies very close to underground, Blake, Echo, and Mycella. In a system nearby, I discovered another 125% arid world. It's got low gravity, which is great for accessibility, and it's got some organics and some ore and some farmland. So we could have potential twins over here. Now, as we continue with our exploration, a couple of recent colonies are starting to get ready to be fully prepared to be transferred to Aurora. So in like a month or 2, we'll be able to go colonize 3 more planets. We just need to deal with some remnants first. Remnants who apparently had an alpha core. Wow, that's a huge find. Let's be real, I did not expect to find that, but I did. The probes also led me to a survey ship, which only had a beta core, so the probes were actually better. And kids, that is how we learn that sometimes the little things we do not care about are more important than the big things we crave. And in the same system, I have also found an underground network on an irradiated planet, which means that's another potential place we could colonize. Although right now it's decently far away from anything else we want to colonize. Actually, no, we want to colonize down here, so not so bad. And while the rest of the places up here are pretty empty, I have found another gate. Our colony growth also unlocked us another potential admin, which means we are free to colonize more. And that's not something I'm gonna say no to. Now let's use the gate we have found up here, and we're gonna quickly jump over to Alphasite, because I've got something for their stellar shade, and that is that reflector core they're gonna need. Then we're gonna jump all the way down here to Kadis. And while I might be terrible at pronouncing its name correctly, it is now ready to live under Aurora's Federation. And so is little Padme, who is now gonna be happily producing fuel for the Aurorans over here. And last but not the least is Tembler, who's got a bakery going on. And with that, Aurora added a couple new systems down here, and I can colonize a couple more places. We're gonna start with this little gem tundra world, which is a 125%er with old space accelerator and low gravity, and I like that combo. And in the same system, we have this barren world, Resh, which's got the underground network. Yes, the population growth is gonna be slightly slower, but I believe that eventually it's gonna be great as well. From here on, we're gonna go to the neighbors, where we have this really cool looking windswept world. Yeah, the accessibility is gonna be slightly worse here, but it just looks so cool. And we're gonna name it East Wind. Now, there are 2 more planets in the same system that have 150% hazard, and at some point we could colonize those as well. But that day is not today. Today is the day when we jump into the Cryosleeper system and hope we do not get burned. Well, this Auric world might get burned by the nearby neutron star a bit, but still, it's only 125%er, you know, and it's got abundant organics. So yeah, we're colonizing the Golden Death here. What a place to live, huh? So the good part about the system, it's got the Cryosleeper right next to it. The bad part, of course, is this neutron star. But a little bit in neutron star never hurt nobody, right? Oh, it's trying to hurt me though. Let's run. I'm sure our Golden Death here is gonna be completely okay. Now, on the not so great news as the Golden Death, we got remnants trying to raid Lugo Wallace over here, where we have Azath and Scrimshaw. So we're gonna have to prepare to defend there. And after we're done with that, we're gonna have the final stage of exploration and colonization. What a glorious day to be alive if you're part of the Auroran Federation. Only a couple of stars remained unexplored, and only a couple of areas of the Persian sector remained uncolonized. The humanity has returned to the fringes, all thanks to one captain and her love for Queen Aurora and chocolate cake. But General Hand's mission wasn't quite complete yet. There were still some dark corners to poke at and some gold mines prospects to colonize. It was time for the last step in the Federation's plan: total colonization.